Today is the first of what might be an ongoing challenge where I'm going to try and create a page for a new website using a website builder. In this case, we're going to be using Hostinger, which has two built-in website builders, one which is based on template structure and another one where you can build a new website by AI. Today I'm going to be using the website builder and template option, and we're going to see how far I can get through the progression of a professionally designed website page in under 30 minutes. What I'm going to be doing is I'll be talking you through each step of the way. It should be a really good starting point if you're intrigued about what this website builder can offer. It'll also give you some of the tips that I picked up in the web design industry for the last 20 years. And to help you along the way, I've decided I'm going to speed up certain sections to either 2, 3, or 5 times the speed. But I can assure you that this was entirely completed within 32 minutes. And if I hadn't have done the logo builder startup, it would have comfortably been done within half an hour. Having said that, there were a few things that were missing from what would have been a more polished design. But as designers, we're always fighting that battle where we always want a little bit more time than some projects will give us. Is this my best work? Absolutely not. But at the same time, I'm hoping this will show you that we can create professional designs when we really are under the pump for time. And it's a great exercise to do this on a regular basis, even if you go back and revisit and spend extra time later on in the project, because this will allow you to be disciplined with time and be able to handle the basics like content transfer, handling AI and content in rapid time. And that frees up more time to work with our client and to focus on the more creative aspects. Let's go and see how I did. Okay, so I'm in the Hostinger startup page right now, and I've also gone through the process of creating a simple prompt in ChatGPT to create our core content. This is all fictional, and of course, in a real workshop, we would have this information via our bullet point brief format, where we cover all the aspects of creating the brief, plus also other aspects of the website blueprint like wireframing, creating a sitemap, everything you need to create an amazing looking website in a short turnaround. So I'm going through the initial Hostinger startup process now. We're going to create a new website. And we're going to select Hostinger Builder with AI. We're going to claim the domain later. And this time, I'm going to choose a pre-made template as opposed to using the AI builder. So we're going to look at something that could resemble what we want. So I'm going to have a flick through the templates. Bearing in mind, I've only got 30 minutes to complete this entire workshop. I'm going to choose this template to start with. And whilst it's loading that, I don't think we need the exclamation mark, but we will go for that heading. And now we're going to start putting in our content. Again, I would normally have information about the color palette, everything we've got to choose from. But the idea here is to give you a glimpse of how the structure works. And we're going to jump in and create a quick logo. I'm now going to use this information as the description for this AI brand builder tool. And I'm intrigued, not used this before, to see what it comes up with. Whilst it's doing that, I'm going to head over to Discord. And we're going to create a quick header image using Midjourney. I'm setting the aspect ratio to 16:9, so that should give us enough width to work with. Really don't know what's going to come out here, but let's see what that comes up with. We're going to jump back now whilst that's creating, and we're going to go with one of these simple logos here. We're going to go with more of a burnt orange color for that. Can't spend too long picking out the font, so I'm going to go with Roboto Slab. I don't like the spacing in between the text and the slogan. But I don't think I can edit that. We're going to go with that. And I would certainly rework this in Adobe Illustrator to get something that was more suitable. But we've downloaded that now and we're ready to jump back into the store and we can upload it. This will at least be enough to keep us ticking over. That's zipped, so we'll just unzip that. Now we can access the logo, and it's probably the PNG is the one that we're after. As we can see here now that the logo's in place, but it's teeny tiny. So we can just increase the logo width to around the 280. That logo's certainly not my cup of tea, but we can use it as a starting point. Okay, I think we're going to go with this one on the top left, which is just kind of traditional UK shop front. It's very busy. Maybe actually we'll go with bottom right here. So we're going to upscale version 4. It does look very busy. So I might come back and revisit that if we got time. It doesn't look so much like a hardware store as more of a antique store. I'm going to put an overlay opacity on the image. Increase that overlay opacity, should I say, just to make it clearer and easier to read. We're going to go with a large hero unit. In this example, we've got products via the shop, so we want to get rid of that. So we're going to go to the pages navigation. We can see that the shop is the home page. I don't really want that to be the case. So the question is, can we delete this section and then rename the shop page to home? Which I think we can. So I'm going to go for this layout here as a template for the 3-page split. We're going to drop this to 2. Have those images left and right there. Bear in mind that we can adjust and keep the spacing to keep the images snapping into place. And here we might even go for a wider aspect ratio for the images, not to take up so much of that retail space. Below, now I'm going to add a new section, quite like this offset, where we've got the header on the left and then the content area on the right. What I'm going to do is just bring that in so we've got more space for the text and make it so it fits flush to the right-hand side of this section here. Now I can go with the section, maybe change the color. There's a color picker built in, which I really like, so it means that we can just color pick from the logo. That's looking a bit strong. So what I'm going to choose is just a grey, but slightly warmer. With a hint of that orange in it, but not quite as strong as that orange. If we double click on it, we can get to the font settings. And again, we can pick the color. I need to press that before scrolling up. One sec. Can I do that? What I'm going to do is do it with this here. Once I pick the color once, it'll show up in the website colors here, which will be a nice shortcut. And I'm interested to see if this color gets too washed out. Ah, it's not there. Not a problem. What we can do is select the hexadecimal value for that color. My gut feeling is it's going to be a bit too dark and too similar to the background. Yeah, we get it gets completely lost there. So we're going to keep that with white. Okay, we're nearly halfway there. I need to start getting a shift on. So if we look at this section here now, we've got our content that we can bring in, and this will start to take shape then. You shift and enter just to bring that down. That's quite nice. There's a split there. I'm still not sure on the colours, I'll be honest. I think what I'm going to do is make this area more compact. I was expecting that content area to be a little bit deeper. This can be a little bit temperamental, so we just got to be careful with scrolling it up so it doesn't go up too far. But we've got that in place now. The one thing, if you drag off the edge of the page, it won't select everything. So we've got to drag from within the main content area. But I want that clean line to the left to keep everything on track. So I'm going to choose 3 images if I can. And look for hardware. Let's come up with computer hardware. So change it to tools. That one works quite nicely. It also brings it up to date, especially where we've got this old traditional looking store here. Again, as I said, the contents aren't suitable for what we want there, so I might even change that if we've got time. This one here. Again, we're going to look for a delivery van here. I'm looking for unbranded and a UK looking vehicle. I think we'll go back to the one at the top. Got the testimonials to add in. But first we're going to add in the details now to go below these images. For some reason they've not quite snapped at the same size, but that's fine. We can adjust that easily enough. So let's add our text block elements now to this page. I'm going to deliberately move that in maybe to around there. What this does is it just gives a little bit more breathing space to the right of the text. And more importantly, it prevents these 2 sections from being too claustrophobic. It's okay to have a smaller gap between these 2 images, but if we have the same gap between the text, it feels like the one block of text is flowing into the other. So it's just nice to keep them separated. If I can just bring this down, we can give ourselves a bit more breathing space either side of the signposting. Do with another tagline. These are going to be pretty straightforward. Nearly 60 years. So I'm going to put 60 years. We're going to double down on the legacy, how long the organization's been running, how long the shop's been open. So we're targeting that for 60 years as an important aspect there. This is going to be too much. But what I'm thinking is splitting this down to 2 sections. A little bit of a quirk there where I went to select all and it deleted the entire block. Did it again. So I'm just pressing. I think it's fine if you go to the most recent character. So we'll report that as a bug. I don't think that's planned in the system. We've got 2 text blocks now. It's fine that they're not exactly the same length. And now we can go in and add our buttons. Button 1, we can duplicate it for button 2, and we can go in and tweak them afterwards. Once we've got one in place where we want it, we can use the guides then that just pop up on screen as we start moving elements around to get them nice and uniform and in the same place. But now it's starting to take shape. We've got our main headline with a background hero unit. We then move into the content below. In fact, I think the hero unit is still probably a bit too deep. I would choose a better image, as I mentioned. Then we go into our main heading. And so you can see there's heading 3 there. And we need a heading 2 for that, really. And we've got heading 3 for each of those, which is fine. Now I can select from inside that container area, select all of these blocks and move them up to be a little bit tighter so that we know that these are connected. We've got that secondary strapline, bringing into a short description and then our 2 main signposting areas. Then we come in with our story to reinforce that with the cultural message. And we can create a bit more space there now. And let's see if we can duplicate this button and bring it down into another section. We can. So I'm used to coming from Squarespace where you can't do that. It's really nice to be able to do that. This time we can hopefully switch the colors around. Don't think we'll have time to do all of the button layouts and everything today, but let's just see how we can take it. The idea here is to scaffold a page structure that would be very quick to finish. So coming hot on the heels of the About Us section, we now want some social proof, so testimonials. And there's a testimonials template area here, and we're looking for one that has 3 options in a row. That will be perfect. And now it's just a case of entering in our testimonials. So if I paste them in, we've only got 5 minutes left. So I need to move quickly. Okay, I really wasn't sure why it was grayed out there before, but that took a little bit longer than I wanted to fix it. But now we have our testimonials in place. I'm just going to get some nice even spacing above and below for that section. We're talking about white space in design here, so we want to make sure that our layouts can breathe. I'm trying to match my eye the section above so they have a nice consistency in our format. But that's that section. Now we're going to finish off with one more. And I'm going to go with this clean, simple split here. I'm going to change the background now of the footer. I know we're repeating the section above a little bit, but we'll be okay. Okay, we are seconds away from finishing up. What I'd have liked to have done is to go through and change the font styles, have a look at it on mobile. Also, we notice I've changed the color because I didn't like that burnt orange. And because this is fictional, I can make this up myself. I would spend more time working on a color palette, something that's more suitable to this design. I'm going to choose a slate gray to go with that blue. This is a serviceable homepage layout. If we flick through it, we've got our masthead at the top here. We'd remove shop and change that to homepage. We'd obviously, as I mentioned, change the logo. Then we'd go through, probably add a little bit more visual flair to this hero unit. Then we'd look through at this signposting and separate it. But that's quite nice and clear. We then move into a little bit about us, then into testimonials, that's social proof to sell the message. Then we move into reinforcement about the product's catalog available. So we could have a downloadable PDF catalog, but often when we're working with small businesses, they may not have the resources to keep a full catalog up to date. So it's just to have a glimpse of what's available in the store. One thing I could also do here is just do something a bit nicer with that and just bring it into the top and the bottom section. Give some nice breathing space around this again once more. And that button would take you through. And finally, I would then preview it on mobile. So it autosaves, but I'm just going to press save then. And if we were to look at it on mobile, it's not entirely broken. It wouldn't take long at all to fix this on mobile view. Things like moving these testimonials up a little bit to make it a little bit more compact so we have less scrolling. I don't think I can adjust these to full width, something I'm used to in Squarespace. And I definitely do some more with the footer as well. Probably add in a map and a finder section on the footer, and probably have some options to subscribe to a newsletter and to get in touch via that footer as well, if I had more time. So as you can see here now, adjusting this to mobile is really easy. One thing we didn't do today is to go through and change the fonts. And I would like to have at least done the headings in Robotus Lab. The other thing you might notice is actually the delivery service has moved above the Discover Our range. So that would be a little bit of moving it around like Lego. But the perfectionist in me, I can't help but fix this now whilst we're looking at it. There we go. Hopefully that's given you an idea that it is possible to create a new website layout in 30 minutes. And the more I get used to using this website builder, the quicker I'm going to get with it as well. Bear in mind, it's not all about speed. It's a balance about getting it right as well. But with our workshops, it's essential that we can turn around websites quickly so we can focus on important aspects like making sure we're getting a nailed down brief from the client that covers everything that they need. Hope you found this useful. I'm hoping to create more of these 30-minute speedruns over the coming weeks. Check back in. Cheers.